Hey everyone, I'm Erin and welcome to my channel. We're going to talk a lot about leaving an abusive relationship, uh, trying to get, basically changing my life. There may be a 3-year-old running around here. Well, welcome to my channel. I'm Erin and this last month has been, well, difficult. I was in an abusive relationship for almost 4 years. It would have been 4 years next month. When I met him, it was great. I was pregnant and I was in a bad, I wasn't with the father. The father didn't want to be in our lives and I was just me. I was like scared to be a single mom and a new baby, and I love my family, but my family can be very judgmental, and so I was struggling with that because they're very traditional. Like, you need to go to church and you can't have sex till you're married. And so me being pregnant, even though I was almost 30 years old, they were very upset the fact that I was about to have this child and I wasn't with the father. And I so happened to meet this man that I was like, who stepped in and was buying things and like helping me pick things out for the baby. And like, I was 20 weeks along when I met him. I just found out it was a boy. And he went to Lamaze with me. Like I said, he bought things for the baby. Like the crib and the car seat, and help me buy clothes. And it was like, he said, oh, like when I was like 31 weeks, he's like, this baby's mine, he'll always be mine. And he was there at the birth and he cut the cord, and I was like, how did I get so lucky? This guy is amazing. And excuse me, Starbucks time. And I was like, great. Things were great for the first, I'd say till Aiden was about a month old. He was, and still is, a landscaper. So he's busy from where I live. He can't work in the winter because it snows. So he was busy from spring till about November, December, depending on when it snows. So Aiden was about a month old. So July-ish, he would go to work, come home with a 24-pack of beer and drink it all and get totally plastered. And he had a his temper started to show. And it was, being in an abusive relationship, what people don't understand is this doesn't happen overnight. This is a gradual thing. And this is why I'm making this channel, to help somebody out there and to know that it is not your fault. Because for the longest time, I thought it was me, that I deserved what was happening. And that's not the case. So, like I said, Aiden was like a month old. And I bought him a playmat. So I brought it home and I was setting it up. And I don't even remember. I must have made a comment that he didn't like. And he got mad. And I was holding Aiden in my lap as I was putting the playmat together. And where he was sitting was the box and the, what do you call it? Oh, the scissors that I was using to cut the box to get the playmat out. and he threw the scissors at me while I was holding my son. Right then, I should have left. And looking back, I regret it. But at the time, I wasn't working, and I felt like, you know, he did all this. You know, maybe it was a one-time thing. And, oh, here comes a 3-year-old. Are you saying hi? You say hi. He's watching a movie. Well, I put a movie on there so I could do this. We'll see if it lasts. This is Aiden. He's 3.5. And this will be in my channel too, of, you know, dealing with a toddler who might be autistic. We don't know yet. He's 3. He's nonverbal, not potty trained. Trying to potty train, but refuses, doesn't really comprehend it. And that's why they think he has autism. He's got about 20 words, but hoping he's just delayed because of the situation. That's what we're hoping, right? Yeah. So he did that, and, you know, I forgave him. And, you know, I'm like, you gotta quit drinking. This was like, I don't know, December. And go play. Yeah. And I don't know, not December. Like November on my birthday. Yeah. And I was like, you gotta quit drinking. We can't. Because he would, like I said, he would go to work, come home with a 12-pack or a 24-pack of beer and drink it all. And when he's drunk, he's very verbally abusive, and, like, he just wanted to be left alone to do his drinking and not be bothered by family. And that's the way it was. And so I was like, you gotta stop this. I can't do this. I can't be with you if you drink. I don't want to be around it. I don't want my son around it. It's not okay. And he's like, well, I don't want to lose you, so I'll quit drinking. So he quit drinking for a little bit. And, you know, we went to couples therapy, and we were talking things out, and he's like, well, I drink because of this, and, you know, yeah, I have a bad temper, and I'll work on it. And so that's what we did. And I stuck by him, and when he wasn't drinking, he was great. He, you know, sorry about that. He knocked it down. Joys of having toddlers. So, he just likes looking at himself in the camera. Are you going to say hi? Yeah? Going to say hi? And so when we were in therapy, we worked on it and worked on, like, what he could do when he got angry. But then, you know, he started working again, and he's like, oh, well, you know, I worked hard today. I want a beer. I just want one beer. And that's, you know, the way it started was, you know, oh, I'll just have one. Oh, I'll just have 2. Oh, I'll buy a 6-pack for the whole weekend. And the 6-pack wouldn't last all day, and he'd go back to the liquor store. And, well, I'm trying to do this. It's not working. We might have to take a break. And when they started drinking, he'd be, you know, it started out with just being abusive to me. It'd be little comments like, you know, you're a bitch, you know, just shut up, leave me alone. I just want to stay here and play video games. Why are you nagging me? He's like, if you just leave me alone, this stuff wouldn't happen. And you're silly. He never wants his picture taken, but when Mommy's starting a YouTube channel, then he wants to sit and be the star. You know, in the 3 years that we were together, I gave up. You know, I stopped caring about what I look like and my weight. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and, you know, I was 300 plus pounds. I lost 80 pounds. You know, and they said, oh, you know, you can never have kids because you have polycystic. And, I mean, that's how I got pregnant. I lost 80 pounds, and I went in, I'm like, I'm sick. I've been sick for 2 months. It's only getting worse. I must have an ulcer. And they're like, well, you have to take a pregnancy test. And I took it, and I'm like, well, it's going to be negative. I don't know why I have to take this. And it was positive. And I found out when I was 14 weeks. Like I said, when you're in an abusive relationship, I stopped caring. I stopped caring about losing the weight, so I gained all that weight back. So I'm in the process of losing that all again. You think it's your fault. Like he says, if I just stop and leave him alone, it'd get better, and it doesn't, you know, and it doesn't. Like, he'd stop drinking, and it'd be great, and then he'd start drinking again, and he'd be a nightmare. And, you know, my family's like, you need to leave him. They were seeing the signs. I wasn't. I was like, because I was torn, because, like, he supported us. He supported me and my son, because I have a bad back, and I'm technically not supposed to work with my bad back. And I was like, well, what am I going to do if I leave him? Because, you know, I want the best for my son, and plus he's all that my son ever knew. You know, I wasn't seeing, like, the damage he was doing to my son when my son would have to see what he did to me. This is going to get long if I tell the whole story now. So I'm just going to do bits and pieces, and then I'll probably start posting 3 days a week, and we'll just one day maybe talk about the abusive relationship, and then another day we'll just talk about how things are going with me now, and then the other day we'll probably talk about my health with polycystic and me losing weight and how that's going. But long story short, being in the relationship that I was in, it was, if I didn't give him sex, he acted like he was 2. Like, I had to give it to him, or else. He would call me every name in the book that he could think of. He would leave bruises. But the thing with him is he was very smart with what he did. Like, I have scars down my arm right here from him scratching me. And he said, well, you were in my way. It was an accident. I had black and blue marks from him pushing me into doorknobs and doors. And he said, well, you were in my way. I was just trying to get in when I was trying to get away from him and locking the door. What made me leave started in a year ago. I had surgery on my back. And he's like, oh, well, it's fine because I'm off for the winter. I can take care of Aiden. I can take care of you, because when you have surgery on your back, you're not supposed to lift. You're not supposed to bend. You're not supposed to twist. And when you're a stay-at-home mom to a toddler, that's what you're doing all day, is bending and twisting and lifting and being tackled. And so he's like, well, I'll take care of Aiden. So what ended up happening is I had surgery, and during my recovery did not go well because I was bending, lifting, and twisting. Because what ended up happening is he would go and get alcohol and drink all day long from the time he got up in the morning, when Aiden got up, about 8 o'clock, until the time he passed out, which was between 10 and midnight. And that's what he did. So that left me to just do what needed to be done. I couldn't count on him. And I'm too proud to go to my family. So I dealt with it. So I have permanent numbness in my right leg that will never go away. And I'm too young to do a fusion in my back. But that's the next step after I lose weight. So that was the start of it. And I was ready to leave. And I didn't. So I was like, what am I gonna do? He broke my TV because he got mad and threw my son's toy at it. Which sounds stupid and, you know, but it was a 65-inch TV that I worked really hard to save up for. It was like the first big expensive purchase that, you know, I bought on my own. And it meant something to me. And he broke it. He's broken 3 TVs that were in our bedroom with his anger. There's holes all over the walls, all over the doors with his anger. He has 3 kids in another state that we had to go. I was trying to be supportive, and this was kind of the last straw. It was a 16-hour car ride to go to court to try to get, he didn't want full custody, he wanted joint custody to see his kids. And I was trying to support him, so I was like, this is the last straw, you know, we'll see how it goes. Road trip in a car, I don't know, it's stupid now, but. So my grandparents bought me a car, a very nice, expensive car, to help me get around with me and my son. And I let him use it to go to work and whatever he needed it for. So when he had to go to court in another state, you know, I was like, yep, let's go. We'll take my car. Well, I don't even remember what set him off. He was very controlling. So whenever my phone would go off, if it was like for a game notification or a friend was texting me or whatever, what are they texting you? Like, he had to see it. So my phone went off and he's like, I want to see your phone. And I'm like, no. And I took my phone and I went and crawled on the back seat. Big mistake. He was screaming and yelling at me to see my phone. What are you doing? And I wouldn't let him see it. So he's like, he threw his phone at my windshield and shattered my windshield. He threw his phone so hard that it shattered my car windshield. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So as soon as we got home, I was like, I can't do it. My son doesn't need, you know, I've left out the times that I've had to call the cops with his being so drunk and abusive towards me. The one time I was calling the cops, he got in trouble interfering with a 911 call they were going to charge him with, because I was dialing 911. I was on the phone with the operator for help, and he tackled me on the bed when I was holding my son. So my son was underneath me, and then it was me, and then it was him, and I had to push him off. And that was, you know, right before I left. And I was like, I can't do this. So the last 2 months that I was with him in private, I was working on getting out. I was working on moving into a different city and getting a job and setting up care for me and my son, all behind his back. And I did it while he was at work, so when he came home, we were gone. And, you know, I'll go in more detail in my channel if you guys want. I'm trying to just do like the long version of like what this is gonna be, and then do better quality. So The day I left, I was a bag of nerves, crying, because I was leaving home. Because what I'm leaving out is the town that we lived in. It was a town that my parents and my brother and now sister-in-law live. And that was my support. But I couldn't stay in that same town as him, because I was scared of what he was going to do when he found out I left. So I was leaving, you know, my church. I was leaving my family. And I was moving 2 hours away. And it was scary. I was like, can I do this? You know, like, I can't keep staying here because it's only getting worse. But can I do this? And I looked at my son and I'm like, he deserves so much better than what he's been having to deal with. He deserves somebody that wants to be in his life, that doesn't just work and then come home and play video games and drink. Because there's more to life than that. He made me feel like if he spent 2 hours in a week with me, that I should be grateful and shut up my mouth. So he went to work that morning. I quickly packed up our stuff. I had people to help move. We moved into a 1-bedroom apartment for right now. I am waitressing, which pays the bills. I'm losing weight. I'm doing workout videos. I am doing a low calorie, no carbs or sugar diet. Just lots of protein. And hopefully that works. Because I know with polycystic, it's very hard to lose weight. So, I mean, I've done it before. I can do it again. And I've lost 10 pounds so far. I'm going to keep going so I can feel better about myself. That's another reason I'm kind of, you know, doing this channel, is accountability. Because I'm starting over. I don't have... Being in an abusive, controlling relationship, he closes everybody out. All your friends, all your family, because they're all bad for you. They don't like you. You're worthless to them. So I'm literally starting from nothing. So, new apartment, new town, new church. I've joined the Y to work out, and the Y here is like huge, and it has a huge indoor pool playground area. My son loves it. So that's what we're doing so far. You know, it's scary starting over. It's scary doing things on your own. And then on top of it, dealing with maybe having a disabled child. But I'm working on it. I'm trying. And that's all you can do. But I'm going to end my first video with, if you're in an abusive relationship, it's not, all I want you to know is it's not your fault. You don't deserve it. You deserve better. It's better once you leave. It's scary. And I get that. I get it. I get that it's scary. It took me, I knew I wanted to leave in June of this last year. And it took me till December to actually get everything in order and do it. So I get it. I get that. You know, especially when you have kids and they're the supporter of the family. How am I going to do it? You know? When all you get is child support. how am I going to live on just child support? And I haven't worked in, you know, it's kind of embarrassing, but I haven't worked since 2014 because I was going to school for nursing, and when I was in the process was when my back started giving me issues, and I've had 3 back surgeries since 2014. And so I had a job out of school because I kept having surgeries and recovering from surgeries, and you know, and then when I got pregnant, nobody wanted to hire you when you were pregnant. And then I met him, and he's like, well, I want you to stay home and take care of the baby. And so that's what I was staying home, which is what he wanted. He wanted me home. You know, if I took the time to get ready and do my makeup and do my hair, well, who are you trying to impress? Where are you going? You already have me. There's no reason for you to do your hair and makeup. So, you know, I can't believe I left. I have a lot of support that I didn't realize I had after I told people I left. It took me a month to tell people I left, except for my immediate family. Everybody is supportive except for my parents. My mom's a lot like me, and we take things really personally, and we're both very sensitive, and we're both very stubborn, and we don't say we're sorry to each other. We're too much alike, but I love her, and I hope that one day she gets that I had to do this. I had to leave town. But anyways, I couldn't work because of my back, and then, like I said, I got pregnant and met him, and he didn't want me to work. So trying to find a job when you haven't worked for that long too is very difficult because nobody wants to hire you. So waitressing jobs it is. But you do what you can for your kids. I look at my son every day, and I thank God for him because I wasn't even supposed to have kids. And I do it for him. I'm trying not to cry. But it's new. And, you know, new is scary sometimes. But I want people to know that, you know, I've been on the line with the domestic violence hotline and talking to ladies. And, you know, when we were going to couples therapies too, like, they told him that he was abusive, and he didn't like that. Nothing was ever their fault. It's always somebody else's. That's the best thing I can say is if you're even wondering if you're in an abusive relationship, what helped me realize it is there's a circle. And on the top of the circle is the incident that you question is abusive. If it's sexual, verbal, emotional, or physical. And they say that they're sorry and that they're going to try better. And so then you wait. So then things are really, 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 really good. You know, they're trying. You know, they take you out on a nice date, or they buy you something nice to say that they're sorry. And things are really good. And then they slowly slip and go back to their old ways. And then they slowly back to their old ways. And then the bad thing happens again. And it's constant. And that's exactly what he was doing. And I didn't see it until somebody pointed it out. And it's been a month, and I realized that I'm much better without him. He's still trying to mess with me. You know, I left a month ago, and he's already engaged. Even though just last week he messaged me that he still loved me and wanted to be with me. But he is engaged. So, to a girl that looks just like me. Go figure. And that he won't talk to me only through her. And I ignore them and it's making them mad. If his ex is watching this, I want to say that I'm sorry. Because the things that you were saying that he was, you were right. And I should have listened. And I'm sorry. He's a liar. And I'm truly sorry for what he did to you. Because he did it and is doing it to me. I want you to know that there's support. You can message me anytime, and I will try and message you back as soon as I can, and, you know, help you, give you advice on things that you can do to get out, and just know that you're not alone and that there's support. I'm getting involved in a group for domestic violence, and I'm going to get involved in that to help other people. Because the scariest part is after you leave. It really is. But it's well worth it. I've noticed my son's attitude and his behaviors are way better after we left. Because he's not in that environment anymore. And I have major mom guilt for putting him in that environment. As much as I tried to keep him out of that environment and not do it when he was watching us or with us. You can't control somebody's temper. I should have left a long time ago. But I'm taking the right steps, getting help for my son, getting help for myself, doing things to make us better, doing this to help other people. And so what I think I'm going to do is, today's Monday. So Mondays are going to be the domestic violence, my stories, and, you know, I'll tell you more stories of what happened and stuff like that. It's for signs for you guys to watch out for. Wednesdays will be where I'm at now on progress of things that are going on in my new life. And then probably Fridays I will do polycystic ovarian syndrome talk and things that I've done to help me, to help you, because I know that it's very, I mean, people talk about the syndrome, but it's very, the symptoms of the syndrome are very embarrassing and very hard to talk about, besides just the infertility of the situation. So I think that's what we're going to do. Thanks for watching very much. And, you know, the videos will just get better from here. And so if you liked, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you know when I post. It'll probably be in the afternoons. And then we'll go from there. But thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye!